Good evening, everyone. Today is the 24th of May, and certainly have a lot of exciting things to talk about today. We're going to talk a little bit about goal setting. We're going to talk a lot about goal setting because we're sort of moving into the last 2 quarters of the year. And I think it's important for us as we move into those last 2 quarters to really make the most of them. And COVID has kind of put a damper on things. We haven't been able to do exactly what we wanted for a while. We also haven't been maybe setting the same types of goals because we've been just stymied. There's certain things we haven't been able to do, maybe not be able to travel, maybe not be able to get out, maybe not even be able to meet up with people. So today we're going to talk about goal setting. We're going to also talk about some brand new products that are being released or are released or about to be released in the US. So if you haven't heard about them, these are US products only or US and Canada only. So you would have to order them NFR, but I think, and then trust me, they will sell out fast. We've been working, we've been waiting for these products for quite a while. They were delayed, I believe, in customs. And so now they're finally available and I'm super excited. They'll be great products for Father's Day and also for Mother's Day. If you didn't get to give your mom a gift or you have some big events coming up, these will be the excellent products for you. So let me share my screen with you and then we're going to start talking about goal setting. And then I want to answer a few questions in the chat. If you can see my screen, give me a thumbs up if you would. If you can see thank you so much. My friends who keep their screens on, I really appreciate it. It makes a big difference for me. Okay, so we have a quick question right away, right off the bat. Pauline is asking me, she won a prize and how does she pick it up? So if you are in Singapore, we always announce at the end that there's a place to go and pick them up. And this call is being recorded, so I'm not going to give you that telephone number now, but we do have in the chat groups, we announce where you pick up the prize. If you're outside of Singapore, you want to contact and you're still in Southeast Asia, you want to contact your upline because your upline will be able to provide you with directions on how you're going to get those products. If you're outside of Southeast Asia, you're anywhere in Europe or you're in the United States, you're going to receive the product directly in the mail. So if you're anywhere in Southeast Asia, so you're in Singapore, Malaysia, the Philippines, Vietnam, Thailand, and you're listening to this call and you happen to win the lucky draw at the end, you're going to, if you're in Singapore, you're going to pick it up yourself. If you're outside of Singapore and any of those other countries that I mentioned, you're going to contact your upline and your upline is going to arrange for delivery for you. If you are in the US, Canada, or Europe, you're going to get your package in the mail. So that's the quick explanation. I hope that serves for everybody. I actually just got a lovely note from someone who received their package yesterday because it was a different sort of a prize. We hadn't given out anything like this in a while. So today we're talking about oils for goal setting. We're talking a lot about goal setting. I know it's on everybody's mind. What can I do? What's my next step? What am I doing here? And I think this is an important one. So these are your smarter goal setting for in 2021. So the key here is smarter, and we're going to get into that really in kind of a lot of depth, but important. I know a lot of people know about SMART goals, but they may not have heard about smarter goals. And I want to make sure that you are ready to go with your smarter goals. And I'm going to ask you now to take out either open up a note in your phone so you can take a few notes, or you're going to be taking some screenshots, but I'm going to ask you to do a little bit of work during this call. So if you would get ready to work, because I think this is important, you need to be able to answer these questions for yourself. And obviously this is going to be recorded. And so you're going to be able to hear it later on or review it if you want. For those of you who are watching on Facebook, congratulations for jumping on. Thanks for subscribing if you've subscribed. And if you haven't subscribed, please click the button below and ring the bell so you can get notifications whenever we have new videos. New videos come out usually twice a week, once a week in English and another time in Spanish. So you want to plan your year, design your days, and achieve your biggest goals. I think this is kind of a great way for us to just kick off the rest of the year. We've been on lockdown for a while. We maybe haven't been thinking about our goals, but we can't put our goals on hold forever because we begin to feel frustrated or disappointed. It's important for us to begin to think about, okay, what is it that I want to do with my life? And many of you that I'm talking to on this call are super young. You've got a lot of living and growing to do. And I don't want you to get stuck at age 25 or 30 or 35 even. We can always have goals. My own mother, who's in her 90s, always has some sort of a goal, whether it's to read something or join a club or be more involved. All of those things are important. They keep us alive. They keep us in community. So number one is, let's talk about annual goals. You're going to set powerful goals so you can start the process for achieving them. And when I'm talking about goals, I'm mostly talking about annual goals. Some of your goals you may be able to achieve more quickly, but your annual goals are the ones that are going to be those kind of big goals where we want to think, okay, within the next 12 months, what is it I want to achieve? So what's the number one reason that people don't achieve their goals? Okay, so I'm not going to tell you the answer. I'm going to ask you to guess. And if you could tell me a couple of things in the chat group, what do you think the number one reason is that people don't achieve their goals? Let me know. I'm going to hang on here and then I'm going to pop an answer in, but I want to hear from you folks. What are you thinking? What's the number one reason that people don't achieve their goals? Now, it could be they don't, yes, they don't make goals. They don't set a goal at all. That's a number one. Could be other reasons, right? I want to see what you're thinking. They want a quick result, Louisa says. Yes, that could be one. Tell me some others. I'm gonna hang on here. I want to hear at least five. We got some good ones here. Okay, they never keep a strong reason on that goal. Great. They're demoralized by others. That's a good one. Thank you. Danielle says they do not achieve goals because they lose track of them. And Jesslyn says lack of motivation. Yeah, we're going to talk about a lot of those things, but the number one reason that people don't achieve their goals is lack of visibility. And that sounds like a crazy thing, but we want to keep our goals firmly in our sight really almost all the time. Maybe you want to have a screensaver on your phone, or you want to post it on your refrigerator. You want to have it on your mirror in your bathroom. You want to be continuously thinking about what is this goal and how am I achieving it? And what are the steps I'm taking nearly every day to achieve that goal? Okay, so this is what I use to keep track of my goals. This is something, we've got a couple of other ones. No specific plans to achieve the goals. Yep. And not focusing on achieving it too. Yes, absolutely. So not focusing on achieving, they maybe write it down on a piece of paper and throw the piece of paper in, I don't know, a drawer or their purse, or they just, So this is the thing that I use, and this is what helps me to keep my goals always present to me. This is something called a full focus planner. I've talked to you about this before, and I'm going to just do a quick rundown because you may have a different method. What works for me for this particular, for goal setting, is that what I'm doing is on a quarterly basis, I'm listing my goals. So I have my goal summary on the top of the page. Both pages are identical. Then I've got some details about what type of goal it is. What are my key motivations for this goal? What are my next steps to try to actually achieve the goal? And I might not be able to achieve the goal within 1 month or 3 months. It may have to take additional steps. And each time I'm updating this, I'm thinking about, okay, what are the steps to achieve this goal? What's my reward? That's a big one, folks, because many people do not reward themselves when they achieve a goal, or they say achieving the goal is reward enough, which sounds really good, but doesn't work in practice. You want to work towards some sort of a reward. And that could be anything from a trip to some kind of gadget you're going to buy yourself, or maybe a meal that you're going to go out for, or someone you're going to, connect with once you achieve your goal. So you're going to reward yourself. And then you're going to have a streak tracker. And the streak tracker is for goals that you're going to do on a daily basis. And we're going to talk about different sorts of goals. So your daily goals would be things like maybe exercise or drinking water, or maybe reading or prayer. There are a lot of different sorts of goals that you could have on a daily basis. Other goals are a little bit more diffused, and you're not going to be able to track a streak per se. Streak trackers could also be great for setting up meetings. I want to be able to set up 3 meetings a week, 5 meetings a week, 2 meetings a day, whatever those are, and checking off those little boxes at the bottom can be really very satisfying. So use something like a streaks tracker, whether it's on your goal planner or maybe just a calendar to kind of cross off, I did it, I did it, I did it. And I think you begin to feel better and more powerful each time you do that thing. The next thing we want to talk about is, what are your goals for the remainder of 2021? So for me, I've got a couple of different goals. Number one is I need to get my house a little bit in order. My house has gotten kind of out of control over the last 6 months, and a lot of that has to do with COVID. So that's one of the big goals. That's a personal goal of mine. Another one is to get back into a regular routine of going to the gym. Our gyms have been closed, and so recently, or over the last year or 6 months, we've had, I've just really had to be walking around in my neighborhood or exercising my house. I'd like to get back to a formal gym routine. And then the third one I would say has to do with the team and really building up the team, getting back to more teaching, more classes, getting out more. My enrollments have stayed up, interestingly enough, but I want to be teaching more on a more regular basis. So those are 3 of the categories of goals, but we're going to talk about why the word more often is not the way to express a goal. So now so Jesslyn is asking me, what's the planner that I use? I use something called the Full Focus Planner. I'm going to type this in the chat if I can. I'm having a little bit of trouble with typing in the chat right now because I'm on kind of funky Wi-Fi. But if anybody knows the planner, Teresa, I think you know it, Full Focus Planner. If you could type that in the chat for me, I would really appreciate it. Okay, so let's keep going because we got a nice long presentation. Okay, so number one is, let's list your goals. Now, goals usually fall into one of these 10 categories. So I'm not going to ask you what your goal is, but I am going to ask you where your number one goal falls into, what category. So you can see the categories are spiritual, intellectual, emotional, physical, marital, parental, social, vocational. Those are your hobbies, right? That's not your job. I'm sorry, vocational is your job. Avocational is your hobby. So your job or your hobby, and then financial. Okay, so I'm going to ask you, and let's get some good, you don't have to tell me what the goal is, but what your number one goal for the rest of the year, what category does it fall into? Let me know. Thank you, Soyan B. Thank you, Danielle. Let me know, where does your number one goal fall into in the next 12 months? You can tell me 6 months also, but tell me what category. Or you can tell me your top 3 if you want, but I want to hear, what's your number one? Might be financial. Maybe you want to save money to buy a house, or maybe you want to save money for a car or a trip or a wedding, right? Or a child's college fees. Let me know in the chat, what is your number one goal this year? And if you're not sure what these categories are, let me know. So when we talk about spiritual, we're talking about becoming more, having a regular religious practice. Oh, okay. So Danielle says her number one is financial. She wants to grow her business to help her family. Okay, great. Your intellectual goals could be to read more, or to study, or to go back to school, or to take a specific class. Your emotional goals might be to curb anger or frustration, maybe to get some therapy, or take a course on not being so triggered by certain things. Physical goals, obviously we're talking about exercise. Marital goals, maybe you want to improve your marriage if you are married, or maybe you want to get married or find a partner if you're not married yet. Parental goals, can be working with your children, obviously, either trying to have children or helping your children to grow. Jesselyn says physical, to lead a healthy life. Social can be, I want to get out more. I want to have some dinners. And I had actually worked on a social goal. I've worked on social goals actually twice, and they were so rewarding for me. Before COVID started, I had been working on a social goal of making sure that I met at least one person for coffee every week, but not having to do with work, having to just be fun. That's it. And then the other goal was for my husband and I to go out and to go different places together. And that was really fun, especially before COVID. We had a lot of fun. We went to different restaurants. We got away. We went to concerts. It was, those are real, I created memories, right? Our vocational goals can be to increase a rank, perhaps, or to increase the size of your team. I'm only getting 2, so I'm going to keep going because I know you got a lot of things that you're probably thinking about. Too many goals is a recipe for failure. So really want to limit our annual goals from 7 to 10. When I talk to people and they say, oh, and I want to have a goal in this and this and this, doesn't mean you have to have a goal in all 10 of those categories that I showed you. Those are just kind of ideas for you. You're probably better off not having a goal in all of those categories because you're just going to become frustrated. So your goals, your smarter goals, are specific, measurable, action-oriented, risky, and we're going to talk about that, timed, exciting, and relevant. And we're going to go into each one of these fairly quickly, but I want you to make sure that you understand what each one of these are. So these aren't smart goals, these are smarter goals, right? Okay, number 1, S is for specific. We want to make sure that we're not talking about our goals in general terms. So not general or vague. I want to improve my photography. I want to be a better photographer. How about I want to complete a certain course in photography? So I want, not that I want to be something, that I want to, we need an action verb. So our goals are specific. M is for measurable. So quantify the result that you want to achieve. Add a number, a dollar figure, or percentage. So we're not going to say something like, I want to earn more money. Not, I don't know, not specific enough, right? It's got to be measurable. So I want to earn $10,000 more this year than I did last year. That's definitely a measurable goal. A is for action oriented. So you don't want to start the goal with a verb like a be verb. I want to be more consistent. I want to be more. We want to have an action verb. So I want to be more consistent with blogging, or I want to be more consistent with having meetings. No. I want to write 2 blog posts per week, or I want to meet with 2 people every week. Those are the types of goals that are going to help us to take action, and they're measurable. So if we say, I want to meet with 4 people per week, and we only meet with 1, then we can look at our goal and either say, this is something that I'm falling down on, or maybe I have to revise the goal and make it more achievable. Okay, R is for risky. Your goal should be in your discomfort zone, not your crazy zone, right? So I'm not going to say, oh, I'm going to go from silver to presidential diamond over the next year. Some people have done it, but that's really kind of crazy. It could be advancing a single rank or a single dollar amount, right? Increasing your sales or increasing your team volume by 5%, or, increasing it by 15%. So look at things like your team volume, the number of people on your team, and begin to qualify. How can I increase those types of sizes, but do it in a risky way? So if you have, let's say, 10 people in your team, and you say, I'm going to increase my team by 10%, that's only 1 person over the next year. That's not a lot of people. But if you have 10 people in your team and you say, I'm going to double the size of my team, okay, now we're talking. If you have 100 people in your team and you want to increase your team by 10% or 20%, now we're beginning to talk about numbers that are going to be a challenge for you. It's not going to be, so ho-hum that you'll be able to do this whether you set the goal or not. That's why your goal needs to be a little bit risky. Should be timed. It should not be forever and ever. So you need to have a deadline for your goal. Instead of just saying, I want to lose 5 kilos, how about I want to lose 5 kilos by the 1st of December, 2021. That gives you more of a time frame, helps you work toward what it is you're going to be doing, and you're going to be breaking that goal into steps that are going to help you achieve your goal within the time frame. E is for exciting. A goal should be personally compelling to you. I know I've set many goals in my life. The ones that were too boring, like, I don't know, filing papers or cleaning closets, those were not personally exciting to me. I had to either have a great reward at the end, or I had to be thinking, if I do this thing, then I'm going to get this other thing. So even when I talk about getting my house in order, I'm thinking of getting my house in order because maybe I want to sell my house or move to a new place. I'm not thinking, oh, I'm just going to be cleaning out closets, because that would be terrible drudgery and I wouldn't be able to sustain it. So here's an example. You could take a 1-week trip to anywhere, to the beach, to, I don't know, the mountains, or any sort of resort, versus let's take a 1-month sabbatical to a brand new place to build my team in a new market. Wouldn't that be a lot of fun? So for those of you who can't travel to other countries right now, and many of us are restricted, maybe you don't go as far away as Thailand, although you may be living in Thailand, but maybe you go to another place within your own country and stay there for a while and really begin to build in that area. So challenge yourself. It has to be exciting for you, but it does not have to be exciting. Something that's exciting for you may not be exciting for someone else. If you're interested in exciting goals, take a look at the work of Tim Ferriss, Ferriss. He is always talking about different sorts of goals, and he's had some really exciting goals over his lifetime, including wanting to become a professional tango dancer and doing boxing in Thailand. I mean, just really super interesting stuff that he's done. He's a single guy, and he maybe has a little bit more freedom than some of the rest of us, but just that idea of challenging ourselves and making the goal exciting. Okay, last but not least, the goal needs to be relevant, right? We all have responsibilities. We all have families or things that we need to do, or responsibilities that we've taken on in the past. We want to make sure that the goal is relevant to our time in life. So for example, if you're a brand new mother with a baby, you might not want to go back to school and get your MBA right now, but could you take an online class in strategic planning or a class in sales? Absolutely. That's a goal that you could achieve. If you are in a different stage of your life, maybe you're ready for retirement, or you're ready for downsizing your house, do you necessarily want to take on the responsibility of a bigger house? Probably not. And so think about what's the time in your life, and is that goal relevant for you? Okay, so specific, measurable, action-oriented, risky, timed, exciting, and relevant. Those are your SMARTER goals. You want to take a screenshot of this, you can. I like to put them into different categories. I'm always updating my goals. I have to say, during COVID, I had kind of slipped off the rails a little bit in terms of goal setting or goal maintenance, because I just wasn't a lot that I could do, not a lot that any of us could do. But I'm back in that feeling of, yes, let's do it. Let's go do it. Okay, so if you are, your goals need to fall in one of two types, either your achievement goals or your habit goals. So we talked about habit goals earlier in the year when doTerra did a big splashy kickoff of habit goals, and they were particularly back in January talking a little bit about getting healthier with better diet, better exercise, and so on. Your achievement goals are a one-time accomplishment. You're going to complete a project, pay off your credit cards, do your personal best in a half marathon. A habit goal is something that's going to be ongoing. So you're going to be doing this every day and keep track of it. So if you're interested in a great blend for keeping track. You can either put this in a roller ball, you could even put it in your diffuser. So 5 drops of wild orange, 3 drops Roman chamomile, 3 drops cedarwood, 1 drop rosemary, 1 drop peppermint, and you're going to put it on your pulse points. And as you're going through your day, you're going to begin to feel more motivated towards your goals. Okay, here's another set of diffuser blends for you. If you're working on your goals, renew and refresh, goal setting, motivation, and planning. And I think all of those things are important if we're trying to achieve our goals. Okay, here's my quick announcement. 2 new products, one called Midnight Forest. This can be used aromatically and topically. It's woody, uplifting, soothing, peaceful, and fresh. It's a blend of Siberian fir, cypress, juniper berry, black spruce, wild orange, frankincense, pimento leaf and berry, cistus and caraway, and labdanum. So you're going to have some really woody characteristics. I think this is going to be a wonderful product for men. So you might want to try it either putting it in a spray bottle, putting it in a roller bottle. It's going to provide a tranquil aroma, bringing the outdoors into your home and creating a peaceful, mellow atmosphere. Now, I have not smelled it yet. I'm working on getting myself a bottle of it. But one of the things that I have heard about it is Midnight Forest is going to be sold with what's called a Midnight Pilot diffuser. And if you'll have seen the Pilot diffuser, it's the one that kind of looks like an egg with a little hole right at the top. The Midnight Pilot diffuser is in a dark graphite color. That's going to be $59.50 wholesale with 25 PV. The Midnight Forest alone is going to be $34 wholesale with 34 PV, and these are US prices, as I mentioned to you before. The second product that we have it is the Citrus Bloom collection, which includes the hand wash, the body wash, the lotion, the deodorant, hand wash dispenser, and the Citrus Bloom Touch. Last time this sold out, folks, I want to say within hours, which is so crazy. The products are going to be made available individually, except for the Citrus Bloom body wash, which will only be available at a later date. So all of these products are going to be available individually or as a set, except for the body wash. And you can see the whole set is wholesale $47.50, which really is a great price for this set. I'm going to try to get on first thing this morning, maybe in the next, I don't know, hour or so, and get my set, because I really wanted this for Mother's Day. It didn't come in. What can you do? Swanby asking, is the Midnight Forest already in the system? I only see the Citrus Bloom. It's telling us what we are hearing from the company is that both products are going to be available this morning. Early this morning. So I don't know if they're not listed on there. Could there be a glitch? It says limited time offer Monday, May 24th while supplies last. So I'm assuming it should be around. I would maybe type in Midnight Forest, see if you can find it, and then let me know, because I'd really like to know. Obviously, I'm not on the system right now. So I hope those are 2 really great products. I have to say, I love Citrus Bloom. It smells amazing. And last time they had this whole kit, the only thing I got was a hand lotion. Everything was sold out. So I'm going to try to get the kit today as fast as possible. I hope you do too. Anyway, okay, let's talk about a little bit about writing down our goals. Dr. Gail Matthews, who is a psychology professor, conducted a study on writing their goals. There were 267 participants, and she found the people who used the method of actually writing the goals down were 42% more likely to achieve them. What's interesting is that she broke the participants into different groups. The first group was simply asked to think about their goals and then asked to rate their goal. Participants in groups 2 through 5 were asked to write them and on the goals. And then one group was asked to formulate action commitments. Another group was asked to talk to a friend. So you can see they were really broken down into a lot of different interesting interesting grouping, and what they found was, which is kind of interesting. So number one was they were asked to rate their goal in terms of difficulty, importance, the extent to which you have the skills and resources to accomplish the goal, your commitment and motivation to the goal, and whether or not you have pursued this goal before, and if so, your prior success. So this is really a good one, and this is kind of some brand new information. I'd love it if you took a screenshot of this, but in terms of the goals that you mentioned to me before, when I think about the difficulty of the goal, you want to make sure that it's risky. The goal has to be important to you, right? So cleaning out your closets, boring, unless you got to get those closets cleaned out so that you can sell your house and move to the new place, right? The extent to which you have the skills and resources to accomplish the goal. Sometimes we don't have the skills and resources right at the beginning, but we have to take steps to find those resources. So when you're growing your team or you're trying to get to a new rank, you may not have all the skills that you need, but you can take classes, you can talk to your upline, you can ask how they did it, and then you can follow the path that someone who has already achieved that goal has followed. Your commitment and motivation to the goal. Maybe you have something else going on in your life that you're not completely committed or motivated to do this goal right now. You know what? It's okay to put a goal aside and try to work on other goals. Here's the thing that I found. I found that as you exercise your goal muscles and you get stronger at completing goals, it becomes easier to complete other goals because you feel success begets success. We do things, we feel powerful about it, and then we're able to move on to the next thing. And whether or not you've pursued this goal before can affect how you feel about the goal right now. So maybe you have a weight loss goal or a fitness goal, and you're thinking to yourself, but I've tried to do this so many times before, and I haven't been successful. You know what? There may be a way for you to do it in a new way. So talk to your friends, talk to professionals. Don't be afraid to enlist the help of professionals, whether it's a trainer or someone who helps you with nutrition to really help you to get to that next level. Okay. This was the result of the test. As you can see, group 5 that had to write progress reports, and that's what we're talking about. We're talking about writing down your goal and keeping track of what it is that you're doing were more successful than all the other groups. The ones that wrote their goals obviously did great and committed to maybe talking to a friend did really well, but the ones that did the progress reports were the ones that were the most successful. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that graph in the abstract. So the graph shows that the more active you are in setting and keeping your goals, the higher your chances of success, which means written goals are more powerful than thought about goals, but it's not just about writing them down, right? We're basically fooling ourselves. We think we're suddenly going to achieve a goal because we write it on a piece of paper. We have to make sure that we're taking those powerful steps. And a goal without a plan is really just a wish. So we talk a lot, we have talked a lot on here about a 90-day cycle of achievement. By focusing on a 90-day achievement cycle, you aren't overwhelming yourself by planning and tracking for 12 months at a time. I like to break my goals, and that's what the full focus planner does. Break your goals into 90-day chunks, and they're much more easily digestible. Because we work in sales, folks, we really do work on a 90-day schedule, whether we like it or not. And from now until the end of this quarter is really a great time for us to be trying to achieve some additional goals. Through the end of June, really, we have a unique opportunity to talk to people, to engage with them. Everybody's active and doing things. When we hit those summer months of July and August, many people are on vacations. And I think this year, people are going to be more on vacation than ever. I'm talking to some of my friends and they're already beginning to say, yes, we're going to the beach, we're going here, we're booking our reservation. Whatever they're able to do, they're going to do this year. Okay, so this is what I'd like you to do. If you can DM me a specific goal, even just one, and you can write it in the smarter format, right? So it's got to be specific, measurable, and so on. And then either post the goal, or you can post just something that you learned today. I'm going to and tag 2 friends. I'm actually going to put you in a drawing to win the citrus bloom set. Yes, you're going to be put in you're going to be put in a drawing for a lucky draw for a citrus bloom set, only giving away 1. So DM me a goal, put it in the smarter format, and then go on and follow and tell me a tip. Tell me something that you learned today and tag 2 friends. That's the key to the ball game. So, and we're going to be giving away one of those citrus bloom sets. So I'm glad you stayed on till the very end. For those of you who are still awake and listening, we always talk about sharing. We try to talk about sharing. There are 3 ways to share. We talked about this also last week. You can refer people and get free oils. You can enroll friends and get some extra income, or you can work to build a team to supplement or replace your income. Success is scheduled, and this goes back to goal setting again. We do have these success is scheduled worksheets if you want to try to download them from the doTerra.com. They really do help us to stay on track. And then finally, let's talk about a couple of things, steps that you're going to need to take if you're working. One of your goals is building your team. You want to be able to teach an introduction to oils class, a basic business training class, and do wellness consults. These are 3 skills that you're going to need to have to be able to build your team. You're also going to be able, you need to learn to teach a continuing education class. Get on or host a team call. You're going to get on a team call like this if you are still with a small team. As your team gets bigger, you're going to want to have a team call of all of your own. And then you're going to work to meet with key leaders for strategy sessions on a regular basis. And then finally, you've got to perfect your skills for contacting new prospects and following up with them so you can enroll them. Okay. I know I've talked a lot today, and my voice is actually kind of gone because I didn't have a glass of water here when I first started, and no way to get them. But I'm going to run out now and grab a cup of coffee, and then I'm going to get on the road again. I have a long drive again today. Thank you for having been here. It's been a really great morning and a great evening to just be talking with all of you. I hope that this helps you to reach your goal. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get notifications when we do additional presentations. You'll get them dropped right into your mailbox. Remember, you are amazing. You are the magic. Thank you so much for having been here. Have a wonderful week. We're going to actually pick 2 prizes for anybody who's on the live. If you're on the live, stay on. For anybody who is on YouTube listening, thank you so much for having been here, and I'll see you back here. Post your goals, and you're going to be entered into the lucky draw. I'm going to be doing that all this week, and your prize will be shipped directly to you. Good luck, and I hope it works out for you, whether you win the prize or whether you're just setting your goals.